Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome making the walk to the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, Jake Pollard! Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome making the walk to the ring, fighting out of the red corner, Paul the Boxer Loonam! Ladies and gentlemen, this next bout of the evening is sanctioned by the Boxing Union of Ireland, taking place over 6 rounds in the Super Bantamweight division. The referee when the action begins is Mr. Paul McCullough. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 120.2 pounds and brings into this ring a professional record of 1 victory. Fighting out of Bradford, England, please welcome Jake Pollard. His opponent standing across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in at 120.4 pounds. He brings into this ring a perfect professional record of 2 wins and no defeats. Fighting out of Offaly, Ireland, give it up for Paul the Boxer Loonam!
Okay, gentlemen, let the rules.
We are back for fight number 4, and one of the most talented young fighters in Irish boxing, Paul Loonam, in his 3rd professional fight against English veteran Jake Pollard. 6 rounds here in the Bantamweight division.
Yeah, you know, 3 fights in 6 months for Paul, all 6 rounders, you know, skipped the 4-round introduction to professional boxing. Has looked exceptional so far. I don't think he's dropped a round.
And he's getting smaller and smaller every time I see him. That weight's just ticking down as well. We were thinking featherweight in the amateurs, maybe be like that in the pros, but he's gone super bantamweight. He's going to be a bantamweight, and he just looks like a little pocket rocket in there.
Yeah, and extremely disciplined is what we've heard from his camp, you know. No issue with the way he lives the life 100%.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a fighter who's having their 3rd fight or who only turned pro earlier this year. He looks seasoned already, and against Pollard, it's going to be difficult. The sort of style that both of them have, it might not be conducive to a good fight, and it's up to Loonam now to sort of pick the lock that is one of Britain's most active and durable journeymen.
Yeah, you know, it's difficult to go up against guys, you know, 20 fights now. I think this is fight number 20 this year for Pollard. Like, it's, you know, he knows how to survive. This is his job.
Very familiar to Irish fans as well. Like in the last 12 or so months, he's gone the distance with Matty Borland, Jack O'Neill, Kane Lewis, Conor Kerr, Ger Hughes. Many of these potential opponents for Paul Loonam, and while maybe there isn't a huge amount of jeopardy, let's say, there is the opportunity for comparison, and he is piecing his shots together well already here. Nice few left hooks to the body there from the Offaly man.
Yeah, you know, we mentioned in the previous fight how close, you know, domestic titles are for a lot of the lads fighting on these shows. You know, Paul, I think we'd agree, is probably ready for the Celtic title fight almost straight away now.
Yeah. And to be honest, I think he might have been ready in his debut, but they are trying to do it the right way and try to get him a bit of experience and just stack stack it as much in his favour, get him as prepared as possible. But like, you just see the talent here. He's already forcing Pollard to sort of do a bit of gamesmanship, sort of wave the arms about. Like this is a round 4 or 5 tactic from Pollard, and he's already been forced to do it in round 1. Every shot from Paul Loonam seems to have landed so far. That right backhand is piecing through, and the fast hands to the body. This is impressive from Paul Loonam so far.
And, you know, we're seeing those little tricks. He's pulling Pollard's glove down and punching over, you know, stuff you don't see guys doing this early in their career usually.
Yeah, the Lomachenko, I think people call that. Or do they still? Lomachenko's maybe on the way out.
And we see that the shift of weight there with the footwork, you know, he's sliding underneath his opponent. I've seen him do that in his last fight against Saicedo. It's something he utilises in each fight. Good round from Loonam. The type, he's constantly ready. He's a phone call away from a big opportunity where he'll no doubt impress.
Well, I don't want to sound like a little Irelander as well, but the sort of pedigree that Paul Loonam has, European under-22 medals, Irish elite titles, like if they were done for the UK or they were the ABAs, he'd have a contract with the likes of a Frank Warren or an Eddie Hearn. You see fighters of the same talent level as Paul Loonam getting, and less talent to be honest, getting big opportunities on big shows, and we're sort of lucky here to be able to see him at a venue on a show like this, and he is progressing well. And with this sort of JB model, let's say, there are fights to be had. I just listed out all the opponents that Pollard has faced so far, and you could see Paul Loonam in with them in the very near future.
Yeah, we could see Paul Loonam winning the Celtic and Irish titles in 2025. And, it only takes one phone call from an Eddie Hearn, a Frank Warren, when they've had someone pull out, and you have someone like Paul who's constantly ready. All of a sudden he's on TV and the whole world will know who he is.
Yeah. And speaking of people who are always ready, the promoter tonight, Jay Byrne, it's actually his birthday as well. He made a bit of career out of that, and I know he was coming in as an opponent and giving top lads hard nights. But you think Paul Loonam could really go in there and cause a lot of trouble against these guys coming through who maybe sell tickets but maybe don't have the schooling and the talent. Like, he's forcing Pollard here to just push forward, just to get a bit of breathing space. Pollard, I think, knows that he can't step back off Paul Loonam, because that's a recipe for disaster.
He's playing the mental game in there as much as a physical one. It's mental gymnastics trying to keep up with a guy like Loonam. Paul is 2, 3, 4 steps ahead of opponents.
And what were 1s and 2s in round 1 are turning into 3s and 4s in round 2 here.
He's sinking the body shots right in at the elbows. Pollard has a good defence for that. We've mentioned he's a very tough guy. He knows how to survive.
And we don't want to get ahead of ourselves here, because he has only been stopped 4 times in nearly 80 fights. But if Loonam keeps going the way he is, this is only round 2. It's a 6-rounder. Like, there is a possibility here.
Yeah, and we've seen from Paul in his previous 2 fights, 6 rounds seems to be a bit of a breeze. We made a debut, looked like he could have done 10.
It was a real statement of intent, yeah. And there you see again, dragging the glove down, and I think that was just a bit of a stumble there for Pollard. I don't think that was from the punch, but he is being a bit discombobulated here.
Yeah, Jake Pollard to be used to kind of guys making debuts 3, 4, 5 and all, who wouldn't be anywhere near as good as this. The energy in here we see from Loonam. He's up on his toes. He's out like a light straight away. Pollard, to his credit, he has one style, but he sticks to it, and he's tough. He'll come forward all night.
Oh, big time, yeah. And very, very durable, very, very solid. And I know people sometimes when they see journeymen and their records and might laugh at them as, oh, they're losers, but there is a lot of pride in there. They don't want to be made a fool of. They want to come forward. They want to show that they're tough in there as well. And there is a lot of professional pride in the line. And
yeah, there certainly is, and like we said, this is their job. They don't want to get stopped at 28-day suspension, They'll fight week after week.
And Pollard, to his credit, is coming forward there, and he is trying to swing shots just to maybe keep Loonam off him, but Loonam is circling, and he's bringing the uppercut in this round. He hasn't really connected just yet, but when he does, it could spell danger for Jake Pollard.
Yeah, these journeymen, they're the puzzle, and you're trying to put the pieces together and kind of crack it a little bit for them. Paul has landed some beautiful shots in each round so far.
and obviously same gym, they train together. There are sort of, just with the footwork and the pivoting around, there are little shades of early Gary Cully as well, when he was fighting journeymen in the early days, and he was so aggressive as well, and you can sort of see the, what you call it, the unit 3 footprint there, or fingerprints.
Yeah, you definitely can, you know, kind of levels above journeyman, more so than you'd see with your average early days professional fighter, you know. And that's, they're drilling in the gym every single day.
Again, we don't want this to be commentator's curse, but has Paul Loonam hit with a shot yet?
Definitely not a notable one, to be fair. But that doesn't stop Pollard, you know, he's coming forward, he's throwing them when he can.
And he's big and physical, and he'll be thinking, if I can get to the 4th or the 5th round, and it's going to get easier for me from there, he'll keep on putting the pressure on this young kid. We'll just be happy to take the win, and we'll have to see how Loonam develops into the second half of the fight. Nice right hand to the body there. Pollard did not like that, and he tries to pull down the guard again. The Bradford boxer ties up. Paul McCullough did not like that, warns him to keep the head up.
Yeah, we see shifting angles there from Paul Loonam, you know, he's moving left to right. You know, in the space of 5 seconds, you're getting hit on both sides of the body.
There was a warning slapping right hand there from Pollard, not much in it, but he is dangerous, again, whether it's his head or an open glove, but he will be swinging until the very end. I think I could do his corner, to be honest. He knows exactly what he's doing, and we go into the 4th round.
I think he's approaching 80 fights professionally now. He could do his own corner at this stage. Aggressive start from Pollard, to be fair. But I think that plays into Paul Loonam's hand, you know. He'll counter punch, he'll use those fast feet.
And Pollard's trying to throw shots, but by the time it even gets halfway there, Loonam's in a different postcode.
Yeah, it's been a very high energy fight, you know. Paul has kind of controlled it, but it's been going at a pace you don't see a lot of early days fights moving at.
And I think maybe going forward, one of Loonam's biggest problems is going to be his size, probably. And I mean that in the sense that he's probably Ireland's one of the few at bantamweight. I know there are a few guys knocking around at super bantamweight and featherweight, but it's just trying to find opponents and guys who want to fight against a problem like Paul Loonam.
Certainly, and you know, these journeymen, they all know each other, they all share stories. It won't be long getting out there that, you know, Paul is a nightmare.
Goes for the guard again there, Paul Loonam, who is trade shots there with Pollard, sort of just obscured from our view, but there was a bit of an ooh from the crowd. Pollard every trick in the book as well, calling Loonam on, and is probably having his best round, nowhere near winning it, but the 4th probably his best so far.
Yeah, I think Loonam has took the foot off the gas a small bit, and he's picking shots a little bit more this round. It's given Pollard the opportunity to kind of press him.
Maybe setting his feet just a little bit. The back isn't as against the ropes as it maybe has been in rounds 1, 2 and 3.
Yeah, I think he's probably trying some stuff that he's been working on in the gym now. He's a perfect opportunity to try get it working. It's patience as well, you know, he's a very strong counter puncher. But you don't get much opportunities against a guy like Pollard.
You could be waiting 15 seconds for him to throw a punch, yeah. see the hair a bit more raggedy there from the journeyman from Yorkshire.
Same again straight away, you know, Pollard's getting behind that jab and he's going to look for those little openings. Nice right hand on the elbow there from Loonam.
And a right hand that just sort of stiffens the leg of Pollard, who's contorting his body and trying to cover up as much space as possible as he marches forward again and again.
Yeah, he's trying to make that target almost impossible to hit, but Loonam keeps kind of spotting those little gaps.
He's hunched over, head down, elbows tucked in. He is a puzzle to try and unpick. And in fairness to Paul Loonam, he is so accurate so far. You see him there again trying to just pull the guard down to just free up a little bit more space. Sneaks the jab in and a nice uppercut there.
Yeah, we will certainly see the best of Paul Loonam when he's in with, you know, a guy who's probably similar to himself, 3, 4, 5 and all, and who's actually coming to try hope hard, to try win. That's where we see those counter-punching skills really take off.
Yeah, I think in his debut was maybe most of his threats with speed, but tonight it is the accuracy of Paul Loonam against such a tight target, and he is poking in shots, piecing in shots. It's very accurate work. You see there 3 in a row through the guard.
Yeah, and each time he's making sure he's not in Pollard's range as well. As I say that, he gets kind of caught.
They call that the commentator's curse. Nice right hand to the body from Paul Loonam. Bit of weight behind that right hook to the body there as well, and just moonwalks out of range.
Yeah, it's been a hard night to work for Pollard so far. He certainly earned his payday.
And you can see Pollard, he knows his job. He knows he's coming in here to lose, but he does want to just let it be known that he was in there and try land a few shots, and he's just not getting the opportunity. It must be still very frustrating for the visitor, who's just so outmatched. He calls Loonam on. He wants to try engage. Bit of frustration there, I think, from Pollard, who's just being absolutely outclassed there. Touch of respect there between the boxers as we go into the 6th round, the 3rd time that Paul Loonam has entered the 6th round.
Yeah, there's not too many Irish novice pros who can say they have 18 rounds under their belt in 6 months.
Loonam putting his shots together well here in the final round. The fast feet and a sharp jab as Pollard keeps marching forward, but he's just having no joy so far. Bit of a warning there from McCullough for Loonam, don't push the head down.
Yeah, as we've acknowledged, it's round 6. You know, there's no kind of steam coming off Paul Loonam. He's not breathing heavy. There's probably a couple more rounds in there.
And still targeting the body as well. That was a nice shot on target. Long left hook. And just, yeah, you were a come forward fighter in the amateurs as well, Mary. It must be so disheartening when you're just being popped with jabs, when you're trying to break down the distance and you just have your momentum being stalled again and again and again by that sharp little pop and jab. And Paul Loonam's probably landed about 2 or 3 dozen of them tonight.
Yeah, when you've a guy who can kind of gauge the range perfectly and not be there when you are, he's that split second ahead of you, it's extremely frustrating. Yeah, and you kind of By the last round, you're almost giving up and just thinking, right, just get through this now. I'm not going to be able to kind of tame him. But again, it only takes one punch.
You kept saying that to yourself in those fights.
Nice right hand there from Paul Loonam. You know, he's kicked it up a gear here in this round.
Catches Pollard with the right hand there as well. The footwork and the angles is just so good. Now he's a bit of showboat in there, swinging the left lead hand.
Yeah, I think it's a case of you have to do that a little bit to kind of frustrate this journeyman and hope you can find an opening.
But in fairness, Loonam, he has made this entertaining as well, that sometimes these fights, when there's such a disparity, they can just get scrappy and messy and frustrating for the more talented fighter, but he is looking good against one of the hardest guys to look good against.
Yeah, he's getting a great workout. The volume has been exceptional. He's throwing a lot of punches in there tonight. He's worked on, there were a lot of things that they were practicing in the gym. You know, putting them into action is different from, in there with your friends.
Big smiles on the bell. We go now to the scorecard for I imagine, a 60-54 win for Paul Loonam, who's going to move to 3-0.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds, your winner by decision, 60-54, Paul the Boxer Loonam! I'm here with a victorious Paul Loonam. Paul, you're in there tonight with a notoriously durable opponent. You got 6 really good rounds under your belt, but you looked to me like you could have done another 15 of those. How do you think that performance went for you?
Yeah, look, it was a brilliant performance. I just want to say a shout out to everyone that came, all the people in Pollard, all the people in Dublin, people from England, people from Poland here as well. So, look, the support I had is fucking huge, and I'm absolutely blessed. Regarding Jake, a very durable opponent. He's a tough up, come forward fighter, so I just used my feet, used my boxing brain. I think maybe I took one jab and all of them 6 rounds, so took no damage, hit, don't get hit, that's what it did.
Well, that's what it looked like, and not only that, it looked like you were making him miss. Your footwork was on point tonight. You were making him miss, you were making him pay. You were really very far ahead of him, and it was an excellent display. You had a really strong amateur career, and it's going really well so far in the professional ranks. What's the next step?
The next step is just to enjoy some time with my family, my girlfriend Carolina, and my son Gianni. And I think, look, we're going to aim for county titles next, and then hopefully after that push on for Irish titles.
Sounds like a good plan to me. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner.